What an awesome time of worship. Grateful for that. I would really love to be able to stay in that place, even as we enter into time of reflection and remembrance we call the Lord's table or communion, even as the main message is brought to us, even as we get in our cars and deal with traffic on the way home, or perhaps a grocery store or something even more horrible, ourselves. As I go through this next week, right before service this morning, Leah turned to me and told me that we had a bird fly into our window yesterday at the house. She said he hit it hard. I guess I missed it. But I immediately went to my first real serious, oh my goodness, understanding that cardinals can be crazy. A lot of birds are like this, but cardinals especially. There's a certain time of year where if the reflection just happens to be right in a window pane and a cardinal sees it, he's going to attack that window or mirror or glass, whatever it is. And I had this one that it was an alarm clock. Something about the position of the sun and the position of my bedroom window was such that about an hour after sunrise every morning for a little while, this cardinal would just bam, and then a few minutes later, bam, and he's flying head first as hard and as fast as he can into that glass. I go out there and, he's actually at some point, his beak is starting to break and he's got blood around his beak. It's gross, it's nasty, it's bad, it's sad. I'm like, you're an idiot. You know? Little while later, the sun's changed position just enough and it just stops. He thinks he won. Bird brain. He's fighting himself. It's not even himself, it's a reflection. It's an echo. It doesn't even really exist. Oh my goodness. I'm that cardinal. I've got a bird brain. I've got natural instincts that are God-given, just like that bird's. Nothing wrong with them. To solve problems, to protect myself, to protect my family, to guard what's mine. But when those instincts get broken or go awry, I start seeing things that aren't necessarily reality. Or even if they are, there really is a reflection there. It's just the reflection is not what that bird is able to comprehend. In that bird's mind, that is a rival. That is another bird. In truth, it's a reflection. Well, there are things in my life I see as threats, as dangers, or even as solutions that might be really there in one sense, but they are certainly not what I think they are. And the truth is, what I wind up doing is trying to fix me with me, or trying to protect what's mine and get what I can and protect my territory, and the only person I'm really fighting is a reflection of myself. But the answer is not to fix myself, and the answer is not even in realizing that all those times I thought I won, life just had moved on enough that it was no longer an issue. But if I will follow the sun and have my eyes on him, I'm not seeing reflections of things that aren't really there. See, the light was being reflected poorly from the perception of that bird. But if he wasn't looking at the reflection and he was looking at the light, he wouldn't have seen it anyway. Now, the bird's not instructed to be looking at the light, but we are. There is a light. There is such a thing as true. There is such a thing as real. Objective truth exists. Reality does exist. But what we perceive around us is, as the philosophers understand, reflected through our filter and perceptions. It's not always as real as we think it is, but that doesn't mean that there's not reality there. So we just need to keep our eyes on the truth. Follow the light. Jesus, the one who came and walked through not being distracted by anything around him. His eye always on the Father. Always on. What do I need to do to stay in touch with the one who created and holds reality with the power of his sovereignty? What do I need to do to please him? And he didn't get distracted by his own reflections, by other people's perceptions of him, by what he saw around him. He just kept his eye on the Father. And we're supposed to keep our eye on the Son. And you'll find that you stop beating yourself half to death on a pretty regular basis. If you feel like you've been banging your head against a wall that's not moving, stop. Doctor, it hurts when I do this. Don't do that. I'm not saying you can avoid all pain. I'm just saying you were never intended to bang your head against the wall. You were intended to walk victoriously with your Creator in relationship with him. And that is possible because of what Jesus did. He came, he did it right. And then he gave us his prize for doing it right. Life, but more than just life, life worth living, abundant life, life with peace and joy and hope and a new nature, an intimate relationship with our Father, life that's worth holding on to. So thank him, trust him, keep our eyes on him. We won't be distracted by reflections and misperceptions because of our brokenness. Come now as you will.